Dear friends, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will tell you guys about switch versus router versus gateway. Which device is right for you? Switches connect devices within a single network. Transfer incoming and outgoing internet traffic between the connected devices. Routers connects a modem to different computer networks, ensuring that internet traffic goes to the right networks. Gateway regulate traffic between two or more dissimilar networks. Dear friends, please watch my video till the end. And don't forget to subscribe my channel and comment on my video. Switch versus router versus gateway. A switch is a multiport bridge. That means that it learns what MAC addresses, which are unique addresses burned into each network interface card by the manufacturer, and will pass traffic destined for a MAC behind each port. That reduces the level of network noise that each NIC has to process. A broadcast which is destined to all devices on a network are not filtered by a switch. Before switches, we had hubs which did no filtering. And Ethernet networks would have collisions, whereby two devices wouldn't communicate simultaneously, ergo collide. Each device would wait for a period then start communicating again. Thus, switches eliminate collisions. A router works one layer up and operates on the network layer or uses IP address to determine what to pass traffic to. As a result, broadcasts are isolated to each side of the router and it only passes traffic that needs to go to an address on the other side of the router. Routers can use routing protocols to learn of other attached networks and automatically pass traffic to those networks. A gateway is a router, a default gateway to a computer on a network is nothing more than the default router. In other words, if the computer needs to communicate to a device that isn't on its own network, then it sends that to the default gateway, which uses the routing protocols. It has to find a route to that destination IP address. Definition of switch. Whenever we talk about the switches, we must specify the level at which the switch operates. We have two types of switches: a two-layer switch, three-layer switch. The two-layer switch operates on two layers. Example, physical and data link layer. A two-layer switch has similar functionality as that of a bridge, but has faster forwarding capability and greater efficiency. On the other hand, a three-layer switch acts as a router, which receives, processes and forwards the packet. Two-layer switch. In this video, we are discussing two-layer switch, which is similar to the multiport bridges. It can connect multiple network segments. A switch has a buffer for the each link connected to it. Here, the receiving link buffers store the packet and check for the outgoing link. If the outgoing link is free, switch sends the packet onto the outgoing link. Switches are fabricated on to strategies that are store and forward and cut through. The store and forward switch stores the frame in the receiving links buffer until the entire packet arrives. On the other hand, the cut through switch forwards the packet as soon as the destination address of the frame is identified. Every switch has a control unit and a switch table. The control unit processes the frame to find the destination address of the frame and consults the switch table to find on which link the intended receiver is connected. Definition of router. A router can be defined as a network layer mechanism, be it software or hardware, using metrics to decide the best path to use for transmission of network traffic. A router is a device that routes or forward data from one network to other based on their IP address. When data packet is received from the router inspects the data's IP address and determines if the packet is meant for its own network. Then it receives the data, or if the data is for another network, then it transfers the data to the other network. It means that routers only forward the data if destination computer is the intended user. Routers have access to network layer addresses and contain software that enables them to determine which of the several possible paths between those addresses is the best for the particular transmission. Routers break up broadcast and collision domains. It means broadcasts are not forwarded through the router by default. It also provides connections for the virtual LANs, VLANs. A router operates on physical layer, data link layer, and network layer, and like modem. Here also the transmission of data is in the form of packets. As routers screen each packet before forwarding it to its destination, the implemented firewall in the router would help to determine potential threats that may harm your computer or your network. Hence, the router provides security to your computer and prevent your network from being attacked. Definition of gateway. A gateway operates on all 7 layers of OSI model. A gateway works as a protocol converter. A router can accept and transfer packets only across a network using similar protocols. But a gateway can accept and transfer the packet across networks using a different protocol. A gateway is software installed within a router. A gateway accepts a packet which is formatted for a protocol. The steps performed by a gateway when it accepts a packet formatted in a protocol are as follow. A gateway accepts a packet which is formatted for a protocol. Example: AppleTalk, used by the sender's network. It then converts that packet to be formatted for another protocol. Example: TCP/IP, used by the receiver's network. After converting the format of the packet, a gateway forward that packet to its destination receiver's network. Sometimes the modification is needed only to header and trailer of the packet, and sometimes a gateway has to adjust the data rate, size, and format of the packet. Switch, router, or gateway differences. Routers and switches are both computer networking devices that allow one or more computers to be connected to the other computers and networks. Functionality of a router is buffer and transfer data packets between two or more networks. Router acts as junction. In router, every port having its own broadcast domain. Switches are allowed to connect multiple devices, and port can be managed. Switches as one broadcast domain unless VLAN implemented. Gateway is controlling unwanted traffic between two different networks. Router is controlling traffic between two same networks. Conclusion. Switch, it's a multi-port device. Works on second layer of OSI, which broadcast network and works on MAC address. It's basically help to expand network in LAN topology. Router, it helps to communicate into different network and works on third layer of OSI model. And a router is a device that analyzes the contents of data packets transmitted within a network or to another network. Routers determine whether the source and destination are on the same network or whether data must be transferred from one network type to another, which requires encapsulating the data packet with routing. Gateway, a network gateway, joins two networks, so the devices on one network can communicate with the devices on another network. Dear friends, thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe my channel and don't forget to comment on my video. I will keep making these types of useful videos in future. So stay connected and make sure to subscribe. My channel is growing continuously due to your support. Thank you.